Welcome to this week's Frenzy Feast, where we are going to dive right into it. How to achieve 70k fairly easily, and one major change that I want to make is I will first break down the reach environment, and then we're going to talk and showcase the builds that I was using. Now, as a disclaimer, the idea here is that I will show you how to build teams or what teams you can use at the minimum to achieve this, but if you have premium units, no matter if you're a spender or a free-to-play player, you should use them as their power is much higher than the normal teams, right? So in this case, I used for the thrust team, I was assuming that maybe people have pulled Gin and Neliel, which we are going to use for the slash. In here, we are going to use the thrust damage bonus with this team here, Rangiku. She will provide quite a lot of damage, especially for Renji. He is not that great when it comes to damage, but his ability to juggle the enemy is quite important against Mayuri, which is why I preferred him here over Ikaku. Tozen is your burst character. Once Mayuri gets into the 10 to 9 bars, you really want to make sure that you can burst him. And I will go over the builds later, because there is one important aspect that you want to make sure of, especially for Renji, because he is able to do a lot of damage if you have some boundaries into him, but you really want to have his ultimate as fast as possible. That said, we get an attack increase here, which is fairly easy to achieve here. We get 30% by using this team here. And for the Kenpachi fight, my idea was that if you have Naliel and Gin, because you have an ailment damage taken increase here, it's fairly easy to tackle this rage environment and just ignore the slash environment, and you should be well equipped to clear him fairly easily. Now, if you don't have Kenpachi, if you don't have any kind of ailment damage, this is the team I've run with. And you will see in the gameplay video, the major reason why is because you have quite a lot of bursts with Shika Ichigo. He is really fast in attacking, which makes the Reishi pressure accumulation phase that Kenpachi has at 8 health bars quite easy to clear, right? And then after that, it's basically a breeze. Like I said, we have a lot of room, by the way, to improve or to scale down our damage. We are at 83k here, which is quite high for this type of event for only free-to-play characters. I struggle a little bit with the strike team here. They are not very well built. I didn't want to use any other teams. I didn't want to use Toshu or anything spirit related. I just wanted to clear this with this. Now, my Nemo is not built at all. Maybe this would look differently if she was. My Yoroichi is not built very well, and yeah, well, Komura is also not very well built. That's why I picked Orihime, because in the end, that we need is we need the strike damage from Yoroichi and from Sajin, right? And we want to keep the combo up, which is really easy to do if you have Yoroichi. Now let's go over the builds, and then we will go into the gameplay. Let's start with Irorichi. She is level 100, but her weapon is still level 80. Her skills are maxed out though, which is, well, she will put out a little bit more damage than maybe what you will do if you're just level 80, right? She has no boundaries, and her set stamp is her core and just level 25. Basically anything that I could get, that's what she is equipped with, right? Crit rate here, some crit damage. Fairly bad stamps, to be fair, and she has an attack rate here, not even that beneficial stats here, so that's quite weak. I'm using this bond here. By the way, if you don't know, on my free-to-play account, I was able to get one piece of this. I got the Eisen piece by just doing the adventure, the deployment. So just keep doing that, and eventually you will get this too, I hope. At least that's how I got it. I didn't even know that you can get it that way. That said, if you don't have this, a way to use is crit damage here, or you can add all type damage, which is fairly strong actually. If you don't have a high crit rate, then I would prefer to use all type damage. Then my Sajin, similar, his build is really bad. He has some crit damage in here, a lot of ailment damage, crit rate here. This is one of the better pieces that he has, but still the perk is quite trashy too. And the last piece is just attack with another little bit of attack and ultimate charge rate. Not that he really needs it, to be honest. But as you can see, nothing too special there. He has his core too. I don't think that he even... Yeah, he doesn't even reach 60% crit. But I activated this one. If you don't have this one, you can use this here. It's still quite good. He deals quite a lot of battlefield skill damage, so that's nice. Mine is B2 actually, which means he will be able to do a little bit more damage compared to yours, maybe if yours is still B0. But like I said, if you have any kind of premium characters and you're struggling with a strike, just bring them into that one, and you can still adhere to the rule that you can use Shikai, Ichigo, Byakuya, and Kisuke on the slash fight. And that's basically it. He is level 80, right? His skills are level 8. And yeah, that's basically it. Orihime is just here for the technique, right? For her passive, she gives an all damage type increase once you get the Tsubaki support. If you have her B1 boundary, her Tsubaki support is increased to 22nd, which means that this part here also is increased to 20 seconds, which is quite nice. So there's a big boost for your Yoruichi or your Sajin. Then we used Renji here. Renji, when it comes to his build, it's quite important that he has ultimate charge rate. I gave him the Mocking Visage. I think it's quite good. You don't trigger that damage all too often. I don't know how much he really benefits from it, to be completely honest. And I also ran him with the all damage type. I didn't give him any SSRs just to keep his damage a little bit lower than it would be normally, right? But he's B6, so this B6 deals quite a lot of damage. So if you don't have him B6 and you're struggling with damage, don't worry. We have 13k points that we can... how do you say this? We have 13k points that are just there that you can compensate with, even if you have a lower damage, right? Then he has his weapon is A5. Like I said, I'm working on my B0 free-to-play so that I can bring the guide with that account, but I'm still 3 level offs, which is around about 1.5 weeks, 2 weeks. Then we used Rangiku. Rangiku, really important. She kind of wants to have ultimate charge rate too. In this case, usually you would give her ailment damage, but I find that for the Mayuri fight, having her ultimate sooner just increases overall the ability to stagger him out of abilities, which makes it much easier to keep him away from calling Nemu. That said, yeah, there is nothing much here. You want to have ailment damage everywhere that you can get it, because she gives it over to the next one. And yeah, basically I have this part here. I don't even know if I reach 80%. Let me double check. Oh, just barely. Just barely. That's great. Weapon, if you have played during her time that she was giving out for free, you should have her B6. And also really important for her to increase this passive here. If you are resource starved, right? Try to max this one out, because this is what gives her so much damage to the characters, right? And that's basically it for the thrust team. For my Kisuke, I will just showcase this here real quick. I'm at 215 crit damage, but I'm also using his own stamp. If you are farming for Kenpachi, or if you are not having good luck with this part here, then what you could do, you could use the ready to go part here, as you gain another additional 50% crit damage, right? This would alleviate a little bit the problems to get him the crit damage that he needs. Also, I'm using the crit damage bond here. No, you could also use this one. In certain cases, this is better depending on how much crit you have on your characters and how much crit damage you can give him. But generally speaking, the crit damage one is fine. Else, if you're not sure, always go for the attack one. He's B3. I try to make sure that I don't use his B2 too much in near enemies, but that's sometimes tough. But you will see, damage-wise, it's what it is, right? We have a lot of room here. My Byakuya is fairly well built. These were originally for my solo Aizen build, so this is quite high level, I would say, apart from this part here. And basically just the same thing here. You give him increase all damage during battle, and then when it's equipped by a tactician, his battlefield skill will deal quite a lot more damage too. He has his core weapon here. His weapon in itself is a 2, and as you have seen, 0 boundaries, right? So just for the stats real quick, this is what it looks like. Ultimate charge rate is quite nice on him. It will enable to do Shikai, to use Shikai Ichigo a little bit more aggressively. And for him too, everything is B6 and A5, as you can see here, right? So the mileage might vary. I have given him ready to go. First and foremost because I just wanted to increase his base attack and crit damage. Secondly because I don't have a good Beast Tyrant. And the Rising Black Moon doesn't really help much because the special attack damage of his is not that high. The slashes that he deals, it's all basic attack, right? And there is nothing in the game at the moment which really benefits basic attack except for that one. So I just gave him this one. A lot of ailment damage because these are usually the secondary spare parts from my Kenpachi, which means, yep, a lot of ailment damage, a lot of wasted stats. Stats wise, it's 60% crit, 88% crit damage, 34% ultimate charge rate. You can go a little bit higher, but I wouldn't go overboard with ultimate charge rate. And that's basically it for the slash characters. Did I miss somebody? No, that's it, basically. Like I said, if you want to, you can use, for premium characters, Kenpachi here, you can use Naliel here. It doesn't really matter, just make sure that you have something to clear out Renji, because he can be a pain, especially in the higher tiers, right? But with that said, let's jump into the gameplay footage. And yeah, let me know in the comments down below if this is useful. Let me know in the comments down below if you want to have a higher level one where we are going for like the top 100, but that would be a pay-to-play one. Just generally, I'm appreciative of any kind of feedback. Once again, thank you so much for watching, enjoy the gameplay, and see you in the next one. Bye!
さてとすごいじゃん。すごいじゃん。さて反撃といこうかの。さてとすごいじゃん。さて反撃といこうかの。
駆除権限妙。
さてとすごいじゃん。さてとさてとすごいじゃん。さてとさて反撃といこうかの。すごいじゃん。さて反撃といこうかの。さてと
駆除権限妙。
さてとすごいじゃん。さて反撃といこうかの。さてとすごいじゃん。さて反撃といこうかの。さて反撃といこうかの。すごいじゃん。
駆除権限妙。
さてとさてとさて反撃といこうかの。